I'm joined by Archit Seshadri, my colleague in Washington, on the ground in Washington. He's been covering, all the events there for the last 2 days. Archit, what do you have for us? What's the latest? What's happening on the ground?
A working group. They will form a working group to look at market access issues.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The very latest at this point is Prime Minister Modi's inside this hotel here. This is the Willard Intercontinental Hotel in Washington, D.C., where he's having those crucial talks with the members of the White House, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, and before that, the Secretary of Defense, James Mattis. Crucial talks about defense relationships and building better bridges with India and the United States. In about an hour from now, in fact, Prime Minister Modi will head out this way in a convoy over to the White House, a few blocks away from this location. We're going to be headed there shortly, but he's going to be over there meeting with President Donald Trump in a one-on-one discussion for about 20 to 30 minutes. After that, in the afternoon, there will be a cocktail reception hosted by Vice President Mike Pence. Then in the evening, there will be a working dinner with President Trump as well as Modi. Modi will be the first leader, an international leader, to be invited by the Trump administration to have those crucial talks. So that's sort of the agenda right now for this day. And then, of course, this evening, Modi heads out to Amsterdam as part of his three-nation tour. So lots happening, lots of tight security around the Willard Intercontinental Hotel. So certainly the big question of the hour is how much will they be able to address? What type of conversations will they be able to address in that meeting today here in Washington, D.C.?
This is Washington, D.C. It's a country that's been subject to a lot of terror, not as much as in Europe, but there has been very tight security in the United States as well. Could you tell us, what is it like down there on the ground? Is there a lot of security?
Yeah, Padma, that's a very interesting point that you bring up. Here, there's certainly a lot of Secret Service agents. There is cops. Even at the Modi event yesterday at Tyson's Corner, it was extremely heavy security. I mean, we had to get into the hotel 3 hours before the event even started. And then once you went to a certain floor, you couldn't get back down. You couldn't leave the building. So there were Secret Service agents lined up. There were police. There were bomb sniffer dogs to check equipment, to check people coming in. There was those security lines to walk in to check each and every visitor walking in. A very similar situation here. This is a block. I can see the Capitol from my vantage point here, the White House here behind me. So Washington, D.C., known for its security, known for its strict measures, and especially when there is a foreign leader like Prime Minister Modi, they don't take any chances at all. Lots of security. But what is interesting, Padma, is we haven't seen a whole lot of local media coverage. I mean, we looked at the papers, the Washington Post, the New York Times, not a whole lot of media coverage in the papers or the networks here with the Modi and Trump meet. Instead, there's a lot of time being given to the domestic issues, including the Russian involvement allegedly, as well as the Obamacare repealment. So Trump perhaps his plate full on more domestic policies, not enough time to address foreign policy. So an interesting development here on how the U.S. media is covering the story.
Looks like an Indian summer out there, Archit. It looks really, really warm. Is it that warm?
Oh, it's certainly hot here, Padma. We thought, we had the heat in Delhi. Here, it's quite hot, and the politics are certainly about to get even more heated up. The big question is between these two leaders, Modi and Trump, we want to find out the chemistry, the body language. We know they're strong personalities, strong leaders, both on social media. Modi with 31 million followers, Trump with nearly 33 million. Who will dominate the conversation? Who will have the last word? Trump tweeted this weekend saying he looks forward to hosting a true friend. So certainly the tone is set, the agenda is set. The big question is whether it's trade, defense talks, terrorism, technology, H-1B visas, or other policies between India and U.S. How much will they accomplish in this one-day unofficial visit? That is a big question. Hopefully we'll get our answers in the coming hours. We're about to go to the White House within an hour, so we'll be able to give you an update shortly.
Great, Archit. Thanks so much, and stay cool. Don't get too hot under the collar.